Hello, everyone, and welcome back. It's CB Rush versus Bucky Stratosphere. Game number 3. CB Rush off to a 2-0 lead off the back of some very well-played mid-jungle synergy through Kha'Zix. We'll have to see if Bucky Stratosphere looks to make the ban happen here in Game 3.
Yeah, and you said ban the bug, right? Bucky Stratosphere needs to do that. CB Rush is on the blue side this time, and what we were talking about earlier, offline was just if they ban Kha'Zix, right? If Bucky Stratosphere bans Kha'Zix, will CB Rush just take the Viego? Because that has been up, that has not been picked or banned from either team, and it feels like if Acid gets something like a Viego, he's just been expertly navigating these team fights. He can get the resets. I mean, I feel like Viego's a stronger and scarier champion than Kha'Zix 9 times out of 10.
I mean, he has less of that surprise factor where he can just one-shot someone or make a duel all of a sudden not look favorable by bursting your health 100 to 25% with like a single auto Q. But Viego typically is just better in team fights, and we've already seen CB Rush excel in team fight environments, even on compositions where they in theory should have been losing team fights to Bucky Stratosphere. So I'm looking to see some kind of change up here. We'll just get the bans in. There it is. Bug is banned out. Acid will not get his signature pick.
Yeah, finally. It took them 2 games to realize that it's an issue, but we'll see how this mid lane matchup works out, because they usually were banning Taliyah. I think they banned Taliyah, Thresh, and they actually banned Morgana, so they're probably going to ban Thresh here, most likely away from Pizza, just because that is his most played support this season. I mean, at 13 games, it's not a whole lot, but we'll see. As the Gwen and Samira, standard bans from CB Rush, Swain getting banned out as well. They don't want to deal with that in the bot lane, and actually Bucky's bans the Xayah, so Thresh is up. All the bans that were, banned out from the last 2 games are pretty much up for their support as CB Rush take the Viego, right? Like, it's blue B1, take the Viego. I would just take Viego or Ziggs or Diana or any of these really strong junglers and give Acid the chance to carry.
They haven't really prioritized much else other than the Kha'Zix. I think their Game 1 and Game 2 drafts, that was the only thing that stayed the same between the two. So really could go anywhere here. It will be the Xin Zhao locked in first, taking that away from maybe the enemy jungler, but also a strong blue one.
Yeah, and that's another jungler that can just look to invade, right? Xin Zhao's level 1, although it didn't look strong because Kha'Zix was like a level ahead in a couple items. If Xin Zhao's on even terms, he can invade you with the strong mid laner, or he can just invade you by himself. His EQW is just so strong early.
Absolutely. Will be the Morgana in retaliation here. So a new support also locked in for the other side. Typically, they've been favoring these kind of engaged supports with the Nautilus Leona, so this is a new look. But it also could be flex mid lane. I mean, we know already that Jesus likes to play these kind of wave clear mids that just kind of sit back and look to enable his teammates. But Morgana Caitlyn being hovered tells you that this is going to be a bot lane duo.
And this is a duo that we saw a little bit of, like, I would say last year when it got really strong. It was originally Lux Caitlyn when Lux was really buffed, then Morgana Caitlyn came back into play, and they kind of just phased out of existence. Nothing really happened change-wise to these champions, right? I think Caitlyn actually been getting buffed recently in the last couple patches. I know Morgana has just been kind of stable. Her jungle stuff has been getting, nerfed, but she's still a good bot laner. So Morgana Caitlyn signals to me that they want a very strong, heavy, bot lane matchup, and they can pretty much win out most of these, right? Binding into trap or trap into binding is so strong, and it just allows for that much pressure, and Caitlyn's just going to keep poking away at you. Tristana Braum is a decent counter, right? You're able to block the Caitlyn Q and the Caitlyn auto damage. You're able to block a lot of damage, but I still feel like it's a heavy lane, as Malzahar is actually let through. So another signature pick going to be picked up for Bucky Stratosphere.
I'll have to see if this is the move. I mean, this one was banned out before. Last game, they managed to get their hands on the Aurelia, which was banned out before. So this time, the signature pick is the Malzahar, and is this a difference maker for this team?
Yeah, and I get you want to pick comfort for your mid laner, but I feel like you play off of what was strong last game, right? Slim Kim was so strong on the Aurelia, and now that it's banned out, I don't know how much of an impact he's going to have on a different champion. He didn't perform that well on the Kled, the full tank Kled specifically, so maybe they'll give him maybe like a Camille or something else, maybe another carry style orientated top laner, and just let him kind of run wild as the Lux gets banned out from Bucky Stratosphere. That actually leaves, still a lot of mid laners for CB Rush decide to pick, right? LeBlanc, Zoe,
already seen the
Lissandra. Yeah, we already seen the Lissandra. I mean, there's still so many mid laners that this guy can pull out, and I think anything that'll just get that, hopefully tried out shove Malzahar, though it's very hard. We're gonna see how much lane priority CB Rush can try to get with this mid lane pickup, as they actually ban the Olaf out as well. just no respect to Viego at all, guys. Like, I don't know. Maybe Bucky is just not going to pick it.
I mean, he's one of those harder champions to pick up, I think. You got to have at least some level of competency at playing any other champion as well on top of the Viego. So I mean, just not something that the junglers are willing to practice here, or any of the solo laners. I mean, I think, yes, Viego's solo lane was nerfed out a little bit. They changed a little bit how sustain works. I don't think it's unviable, though. And Trundle will be the lock-in. Yeah,
Trundle's good. Oh, Ziggs.
There you go. You talked about this one earlier.
Yeah. I mean, go on to your point about Trundle. Do you love him in this composition?
I mean, in my head, I'm thinking to myself, I see Malzahar mid. You need to get something that has a little bit of heavier damage. Trundle can work because he excels at just hitting a target that stays still, I guess. But it's not something I would have liked to see over... I don't know exactly what would have been good in this composition. Something like a Volibear or a... maybe like Diana Echo, I think could have worked.
I think Diana would have worked really well, especially just being able to get set up with that Malzahar R, right? You pretty much set up the QR or the QER, just setting up a lot of that damage. It's not that Trundle doesn't do a lot of damage. I mean, he will bash you and bonk you with his pillar. I mean, press the attack Trundle is kind of strong, but he still needs a lot of items, right? He needs a Divine Sunder or the Stayrax before he can really start going. Trundle is typically seen as kind of a good jungle matchup as well, because when Xin Rs, you can R and stay alive, and both of you just don't die, essentially, as you guys are trying to trade as much damage as you can. Volibear being picked up actually on the CB Rush side. That's probably a Volibear top. Syndra mid as well. So Tristana Braum bot lane and Xin Zhao in the jungle. This is more comfort picks, right? The Syndra was getting banned out by Bucky Stratosphere a lot. It got banned out both last game and the game before that, as the Aatrox is getting picked up for Slim Kim. So another strong, or like a 1v1 kind of like, I need to outplay you, I can snowball, but Aatrox just hasn't been seeing a lot of play recently, and I think that's just due to the overwhelming number of better champions in the top lane, like the Gwen, like the Camille, the Irelia, the Gnar, the Renekton, all these other champions that just kind of do what Aatrox does, but better, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think he had any options left. I mean, they banned out the Irelia. We already saw the Kled, and we know that wasn't something that he wanted to pick here again. I mean, maybe just doesn't want to play into the Volibear matchup. Was happy to play in the Illaoi, though, and I mean, it didn't go well the first time, so trying something new here with the Aatrox. I like the idea. I'm just, again, I wanted something new, and I was really looking for Bucky Stratosphere to just completely change it up with this Kha'Zix ban and then swapping up their comp a little bit. This is a different comp. I do think that this one is harder to execute on than their last one was, though.
Yeah, it's more of a pick composition, right? You look for a Malzahar R, you look to, see someone that's out of position, maybe a Morgana binding. I mean, there's a lot of follow-up, right? Malzahar R into Morgana binding, into Caitlyn trap. That's a lot of single target damage. But when it gets to these team fights, I just feel like Tristana, Syndra landing stuns, Volibear wreaking havoc into that back line. I just feel like Bucky Stratosphere, like you said, the composition is harder to execute, while CB Rush has something like a little bit more direct. They kind of have better champions across the board, in my opinion. I would say the Volibear Aatrox matchup is, I'm not too familiar with the top lane matchup in that sense, but I would say both of those champions are relatively the same level when it comes to top lane in terms of how effective they are and how good they are. But Xin Zhao's better than Trundle, in my opinion. I think Syndra's ekes out Malzahar just for more teamfight effectiveness, and then Tristana Braum versus Caitlyn Morgana. It's up to the Caitlyn Morgana to really just put as much pressure as they can and garner a CS lead, get tower plates and really exert a lot of pressure. But if Tristana Braum just come out of this lane slightly down in CS, or even come out even, I think Tristana Braum just is more effective than Morgana Caitlyn.
And even looking over to Macro Beast and Sirmus, they're playing into a Tristana who just constantly pushes against them. So if you can find that wave clear against the Caitlyn Morgana and just try and shove out this wave against them, all of a sudden the advantage of Morgana Caitlyn, which is getting these tower plates, weakening that bottom lane tower, and constantly poking them out while they're underneath it, suddenly is not there actually for this team. They have to get this shove, and it's going to be so important for them to use their cooldown to get the wave under tower and keep it there.
I want to talk about the jungle matchup a little bit. Right, it's just the fact that when Xin Zhao goes in, you can Trundle pillar, you can R him, you can kind of like look to weaken him and just get him bursted out a lot more, right? Because he does build the stay racks, he does build, you know, the wits end. He might go death dance for fourth item. So there are some resistances to take, but I feel like just Trundle as a ganker and just as a champion, if he doesn't get it, like if it's even Xin Zhao versus Trundle, I would say that possibly Xin Zhao just kind of ekes him out just as a better champion, just because of his R, the fact that he can use his R both reactively and proactively, right? He can block a lot of the damage coming out from Caitlyn Morgana, right? If he just R's around his team and creates that circle of, you know, invulnerability, while as Trundle, once he subjugates, CB Rush can kind of just walk out, wait out the subjugate, and then Trundle's kind of just like a worse Aatrox, right? He's just like auto attacking you with this club, trying to steal some AD from people. I don't know how he really walks in on Braum Syndra though.
It's pretty tough for him to get anywhere. I mean, normally you want to pick Trundle into tanks because they're going to be fighting in melee range of you, but with this Tristana and this Syndra sitting so far away, and you got to walk through a Braum Volibear to get there, it's going to be tough for him to have any kind of backline access. And then they locked him in before there was any true tank picked up here from CB Rush, so he doesn't really have any resistances to steal. Yes, the Xin Zhao builds a little bit, the Volibear builds a little bit, and you can help shut down those targets, but the subjugate options here are much more limited than a Trundle would like them to be.
Yeah, and Braum's probably going to go Guardian here as well, not going for that Aftershock, so you can't even, you know, look to get that, like, really cheeky subjugate while the Aftershock is going off and you steal a bunch of resistances.
Send him to negative resistances, yeah.
yeah, it's like a really wonky thing, right? You take so much, you become super, super tanky. We're going to see how this jungle matchup fares up. I feel like CB Rush have just been playing really well with their mid 2v2, and Syndra Xin definitely is better than Malzahar Trundle, in my opinion, until like possibly level 6. And I feel like the way CB Rush has been playing, Acid and Frosty are just going to try to abuse this Trundle.
The one thing I'm hoping here is that Jesus, I mean, this is one of his comfort picks. If he can find the chef in mid lane, it will deny Acid and Frosty the ability to constantly invade Array this time. And poor Array, man, I think he's been getting the short end of the stick this series. It's not entirely his fault. No. Just getting killed in his own jungle constantly. I mean, you have to get good vision down for him. You have to have good priority in the lanes for him. Game 1, maybe you could argue he should have seen that invade coming, but really a lot of these kills are off the back of Frosty shoving in and then roaming.
Yeah, like you said, yeah, the kills, these invades are off of, you know, proper lane priority, proper vision being set up, and his team also not setting up counter vision for him that he can see the invade and path appropriately, right? Imagine if all the times they just see Kha'Zix walking through river. Well, now, you know, Array can just swap over, go to the other side of the jungle, and take 2 or 3 camps for free, right? It doesn't. This team or these kinds of vision, these kinds of picks, don't set Array up for success, right? It just kind of says, okay, hey, you know what? We're gonna let you gank. We're gonna let you get your pick. But if we get shoved in, like, you're a fish out of water.
For every mistake in draft, there is a team that looks to capitalize on it, and CBR has done just that. We'll have to see if they can do it in this game 3 as we jump over to a short delay, moving on to this last game of the first week. We'll see you guys in just a little bit. And it's game 3 of Excellency Mid-League Fall Split Week 1. CB Rush looking to make it a clean sweep here. Once again, drafting an all-new composition up against also a pretty much all-new composition coming out from the side of Bucky's Stratosphere.
Yeah, and CB Rush going for an invade. Slimkim spots it out. I don't think a flash or anything's going to come out. They're just looking to get vision down, and like we said, CB Rush just plays so well with that early vision. You want to see Bucky's Stratosphere trade it right now. Yeah, and that's what they're doing. They're going in. They're trading essentially, you know, red side vision for red side vision, or red buff vision for red buff vision. That ward gets taken out immediately. Unfortunate. I wish you would have placed it. Oh, that ward's going to get taken out too, probably.
Oh, barely going to keep that one alive. Not this time. You jinxed it. What have you done?
I did. I mean, I thought all 3 of the champions would auto attack at the same time. They do get the ward down, but 2 wards for the price of 1 on the side of CB Rush. So they win that small advantage, the EXP advantage there. But they definitely know where they're going to be starting. Bucky Stratosphere possibly looking for a late invade. with the Caitlyn, Morgana, Trundle. I mean, it'll be interesting. Yeah, they definitely are. They have to think that this, yeah, they know this isn't warded out pretty much.
This is a bold move. I mean, they're walking into a Braum here. It's going to be tough as Coach Pizza actually spots it out. You don't land the stun here on the Assumer, so he actually barely manages to walk away. Coach Pizza goes low, and Array is now the target. Acid getting tagged up hardcore here by the red buff. Flash forward from Array. He's angry. He wants revenge. Buff going low here. Acid's going to find the smite. Secure. There it is. Pulls that one off and able to walk out, but they lose a champion for it. Coach Beasley did go down. Now they're looking to get this one on forward. Frosty 5 in trouble here. He's going to be okay.
I thought Array would keep the invade up onto Zinzao. I mean, that's a level 1 Zinzao. That whole jungle quadrant is yours. Yeah. Push him out. Look, CBR Acid has to leave. He has to concede that bottom side jungle, and now Trundle possibly can get 3 quadrants to himself. A beautiful start for Array. I think Array was done. He's like, hey, their team is playing around their jungler. Can we play around ours?
Yeah, I mean, there we go. Finally finding an invade. Finally getting some revenge here onto Acid as he steals away the first possible camp of the game. Acid forced to go towards that top side. I mean, I didn't think that invade would work as Slim Kim getting actually dangerously low here against Volley. This might be a solo kill. No, he's going to be okay.
No, the W wasn't there. I believe he went QE, level 1 and 2, so he's not going to get that enhanced W damage. But level 3 comes. I feel like Rutledge, yeah, you got to back off Slim Kim. You'll get bursted out. But Macro Beast was able to pick up that first blood. Wasn't able to back, so doesn't have that advantage in lane just yet. Summoners were blown. Macro Beast actually has the exhaust as well. Doesn't have the heal. You see a lot of different AD carries kind of take this pick. I don't really see it too much in competitive, but I do see it a lot in solo queue where they're kind of just looking for that added safety where if anybody jumps onto them, as Array comes in on the Frosty, that's a flash blown. Ooh,
Pillar not going to land, but here comes the bottom lane roam. 2-man stun. Here comes Evil Zara on the jump on in. He'll pick up Jesus.
Another jump.
And now it's 5-man invade onto Array. No! This has been the story of the series. Poor Array once again getting taken out, and it's the entire team of CB Rush to do it this time.
The squad comes in. All of CB Rush's homies hate Array. That's how it is right now. That's literally what's happening. Evil Zara and Coach Pizza get the push, like you said earlier, right, when we were talking about draft. Macro Beast and Sermons got pushed in, and Coach Pizza and Evil Zara just came in, you know, essentially just killed Trundle and Jesus, and any advantage that they gained from that invade that Array gained is gone like that. Double buffs onto Rutledge as well is going to swing whatever advantage that Array had in the CS away from him.
Yeah, I mean, it's just tough stuff. I mean, really good roam up here from Evil Zara and Coach Beats. I don't believe they ended up losing too much. You see that CS score is actually fairly even. On top of that, getting a kill over onto this Tristana, just going to start to get that hyper carry rolling a little bit earlier than expected.
1-0-1. Kate initially had the... Ooh, she's going the lethality build as well, it looks like. Yeah, Dark Harvest. I didn't even touch upon the rune choice. That's going to be, you know, a lot of just upfront burst damage. The R is going to do a bunch of damage. If she can get it onto the Syndra or the Tristana into these early fights, like what you'd see way back then when you'd see a LeBlanc get picked, Caitlyn would just randomly pretty much ult the LeBlanc to half health. That's kind of the same concept of what she's going for right now. Possibly to take the Syndra or Tristana out of these fights initially, but they do have a Braum as top lane is getting aggressed on.
Yeah, Rutledge doesn't have the flash here as Array on level 3, but again, it's as a flashless Volibear now as he starts to play the alcove games, drops himself with the pillar. Rutledge gonna find the shield, trying to find some damage here onto Array, but just continuous abilities, enhanced Qs landing one after the other at a Slim Kim here. They do find the kills, and Array gets his double buffs back.
Yeah, Rutledge playing a little bit disrespectful here. Not at all respecting the fact that Array could come back for the, you know, the reach around gank or anything like that. I would have loved him to play a little bit more, not necessarily conservatively, but just a little bit, you know, I would say reserved in the sense that you need to protect your double buffs and not let them get transferred onto Array. And I feel like Rutledge had the advantage and just threw it away.
Good retaliation though here immediately as CBR moves over to pick up the first dragon of the game. Will be that Infernal, which means we're either going to be looking at a Cloud or an Ocean Soul coming up here later on in the stages of the game. And I believe both these teams, I would say, are opting for that Ocean Soul.
Array's back.
Oh, no way. Look at the repeat gank. Slim Kim, You weren't expecting it twice in a row. Drops the pillar, actually going to miss, but the pullback is successful. Bully Bear doesn't have tier 2 boots yet. He cannot walk out of that one. And Slim Kim finds everything he needs here with a slight assist from Array.
Yeah, Array is doing a lot better job just getting the ganks off. And, you know, I think they were listening to the stream because they are playing around Slim Kim this time. I know it's not the Irelia, but Aatrox is an equally scary champion if he can get ahead. All of the kills have been going to Trundle. He's 2-1 now. And CBR is still 0-0-0, unable to get even the assist off from that 5-man mid that happened earlier in the game. So a bit of a flip, right? You know, Array is actually in the lead as CBR Acid is taking what he can from the jungle.
Really gonna miss that one. Jesus in the wings, but not gonna come through with that Nether Grasp. Happy to just move back to lane and continue that wave clear. I'm really looking at Jesus here. I mean, this is the signature pick. I would say this is the champion in his pool that I was most looking forward to seeing, was putting him on this Malzahar, letting him just wave clear here against Frosty, and then trying to allow him to just roam out with his Nether Grasp, and then also just locking down a target. CBR Acid has typically been the person who's just super far ahead, but of course, if you have a Nether Grasp, they're either buying QSS or they're just not going to participate in a fight.
Yeah, QSS tax is very, very real here. 1,300 gold. Going to have to be going to possibly Syndra and Tristana. Tristana can work it better into her build, but just the fact that Syndra will have to build it is so bad. She loses out on pretty much an item of damage. That could be the Void Staff. That could be the Death Cap. That can be, you know, any sort of mage item that's still out there, but I don't believe CBR Acid or Rutledge will probably build it just because they're kind of a little bit more tankier, and Acid can probably look to R some of the damage away or if any follow-up comes up. But we'll see how many of these individuals on the enemy team will pay the QSS tax as CBR Acid is looking for the gank here. Misses the binding.
No. The binding goes wide and he's going to dash on in. CBR Acid going to find the knockup, but the bomb drops and flash burned on top of it as well. Just like that, the bottom lane finds the fight they want. A great gank from Acid. Clean this one up. Evils are going to get the shove in as well, and this is going to be a few plates at least with the Tristana bombs on top of it.
Oh yeah, definitely at least one, possibly two here, as no pressure can be put on. Like Trundle can't cover it, nobody's there to cover it. So
Flash Nether Grasp to find it. Array is here as well for a few autos. Jesus finds the kill though, and when you're a jungler, you love playing with Malzahars because they can do just that.
And the kill actually goes over to Malz too, but now that's a flashless Malz. That's kind of scary, right? Because if that shield, that CC shield goes away, I feel like Syndra's in can just look to gank him as Rutledge is just getting abused up in this top lane. Ooh, plates taken as well. 2 plates.
I'd also like to say though that when you're playing Malzahar, you are kind of, as if you can keep your mana sustainable. I mean, blue buff is down for a little bit longer, so they won't have that as an option. But if you can just sit back and kind of just, you got the teleport, you can just constantly wave clear with the I'm missing the name, the dots and the minions. Just constantly set that wave out.
The coronavirus is what you're talking about.
Thank you. Yeah. You call it that. But yeah, like Malzahar can just constantly shove out. I mean, he just burned TP, so I'm not a huge fan of that. But now he's back here in lane. He can just sit back far enough, and he doesn't need to be that aggressor. But Slim Kim here, he's getting the three-man party here in the top lane, flashing forward. Rutledge will find the stun, following it up. There's the tower lockdown as well. Array will keep one underneath the tower, but it doesn't really matter here that much. Get one? 2 tower shots will land. He's wants to flash forward for it. He'll find the bite. Array is out for blood this game, and he's come to play. Coach Pizza look for the dive here, trying to follow up.
Beautiful
Gotta
tower.
Take the aggro away from the Zinzao, and on the other side of the map, it's a shutdown here for Caitlyn, finding the dive underneath the turret, but there's a Syndra has arrived as well. She doesn't have the ultimate, but almost
macro. Get as much as you can.
Macro, gonna play the dodge games, gotta put the legs on him, gonna get stunned up, gonna drop Frosty on the roam, cleans up the overzealous Caitlyn.
Caitlyn still getting it looked like a solo kill. I'm not sure what happened. Unfortunately, we couldn't see what happened in that bottom lane. Has the Dust Blade down. Yeah, it's going for that kind of one-shot R build, right? The early lethality can look to just chunk people out before they can even enter fights. It's definitely a good build, and I definitely like it when you're ahead. And in this scenario, it feels like Caitlyn, you know, I wouldn't say she's super ahead by any means. I mean, it's 2-2 to 2-1-3, 76 to 76 CS, but she did get 2 tower plates on top of that, so her gold is probably a little ahead right now. And now this dragon fight comes in. No ultimate avail for Caitlyn, can still do a lot of damage with the W, you know, empowered auto proc. But this game 3 looking a lot closer than game 1 and 2.
I'm gonna be a little bit critical here. I feel like going for Rift Herald is the better play if you're on the side. Oh, but actually it's just gonna dash on in. Evil Zara's in melee range. Wait, there's the Nether Grasp. You went a little bit too far. Ray's gonna pick you up. Sermus looking for the disengage, but it's actually Jesus who's in trouble. Here comes the teleport, but it's a little bit too late from the Aatrox. He's gonna drop. Binding does land. That's a Brum. He's got the shield up. Array gonna be the target. But look at the healing from the Aatrox. He's just managing to staying through so much. Array gonna get chunked out. Barely stays alive thanks to that subjugate. As you said, Slim Kim on the TP keeps that fight in the favor of Bucky Stratosphere, and they're gonna be happy to clean it up a little bit. But CP Acid suddenly looks very aggressive here towards Slim Kim. Oh my god, he deletes him. There's no world ender, you know. On the teleport, Slim Kim is looking to carry this one on his back, and great plays coming out of Bucky Stratosphere to make this one work. They're going to pick up a dragon as well, and that's an Aatrox now just getting stronger and stronger. Trundle staying alive through it all. This is all coming up in the favor of Bucky Stratosphere, and I think that's the first time we've said that this series.
Yeah, I think this is the first time they've actually had a gold lead this series. Oh, no, my bad. Apologies. They did have a gold lead when they did that small fight into that bottom lane where they turned around in the river. But other than that, yeah, this is the first like kind of sizable gold lead that they have this early into the game. I mean, all the right pieces on the side of Bucky Stratosphere are ahead. The top laner, the bot laner, and the jungler, right? And specifically, this is a Trundle with Divine Sunderer now. Has the press the attack rune as well, so he's going to be doing a lot of damage. If he can stick onto you, which they've been doing very, very well with these Morgana bindings, the Malzahar are, like you said, the Nether Grass. I mean, Trundle's just going to get his full rotation of damage off onto you and just keep whacking you. Yeah,
I mean, Trundle, I said was going to have a hard time getting backline access, but it's really just constant engagements here. He's always going to have access to Acid and Rutledge, and even Evil Zara getting a little overzealous there. She jumped forward with a rocket jump, got immediately Nether Grasp, and you saw the damage that Array was able to put down even without the Divine Sunderer.
Yeah, and that pillar just kind of messes things up, right, for the side of CB Rush. It slows people down. It can trap people. It just causes so much disruption. It doesn't do damage, but it feels like it separates and splits the team, and that's exactly what you want from Bucky Stratospheria's side, right? You want to separate them. You want to split them up. You want to get a free Nether Grass. I mean, Malzahar has been able to get these ultimates off uninterrupted for the most part.
I mean, just gotta give Jesus a shout out. This is a signature pick, and despite that early blunder where he did go down, I feel like he's been playing it fairly effectively. I mean, yes, he burned Flash, but he's using it proactively to get Array further ahead. I like the looks that they're showing this game. I like what they're doing with this composition. And they just need to continue to find success here as tower plates will drop. Nothing claimed just yet. I wouldn't say any tower is an immediate threat, but Richard's still on the map, and this could get picked up and just quickly turn into a tower lead.
Yeah, and I think that's just still the first Rift Herald, right? They didn't take the earlier one for the plate, so nobody was able to get it. So this is that same remaining Rift Herald, CBR Acid, possibly countering, you know, a gank from Array, but just keeping that safety for Evil Zara and Coach Pizza. I like it. You could say it's time wasted, but also just allowing that extra safety as Sermus. They have to know something's up.
I mean, at this point, I'm not sure it's time wasted. They might be able to actually pull this one off, but here comes Array. Look for the gank onto Frosty. He's got no flash.
Oh, he canceled it.
Interrupted. It was a perfect stun, but it doesn't matter. Jesus is going to find the kill. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane of Zonya's is proc here for Sermus. Actually going to be able to flash out as well. Evil Zara couldn't find the auto. And they get a 1-for-0 trade. Bucky Stratosphere once again fighting their way back. They're showing signs of life, and they're looking to find plays across the map.
CBR
No way! What a binding from Sermus. Not going to find the Caitlyn ultimate to follow it up. Evil Zara hopping on out with that reset. Jungle Plant as well, going to help him escape as Jesus teleporting down to try and find something else.
Trundle's here too.
Coming down in the top lane. It's Slim Kim versus Rutledge trying to fight it out against each other. As Slim Kim making a fair amount of damage here actually against Rutledge. Gonna pop the world and they're gonna look for the fight, but here comes a teleport.
Oh,
that's Frosty wanting to join the fight. He's gonna have the sun available. Goes wide. Flash forward from Rutledge will land.
Oh my
Slim
God,
Kim,
Draco!
look at the sustain. It's just crazy. Meanwhile, the bottom lane's been a two-man dive. There's action everywhere. Array barely stays alive. Almost paths back, and I believe almost took another tower shot there. But here you go. Mid lane tower falls, bottom lane tower falls. They trade a teleport and a kill on the top lane for it. But all around, once again, I'm going to have to say Bucky Stratosphere is coming out ahead.
Yeah, and this game 3 coming back with some life. I mean, 2K gold now ahead. And Slim Kim, although he took a lot of that pressure, was able to burn the TP from a Frosty. And Array is just so far ahead right now on this Trundle, and that is not what you want to see if you're CB Rush, right? You don't want to see this Trundle being tanky and doing a lot of damage. You're going to go into that Starax gauge most likely, and that backline access, like you mentioned, I mean, you pretty much have insta-click backline access when you have Jesus or Jesus on your team, right? With that Malzahar, he's willing to just flash R, like you said, and has so much protection, right? Because you can get his shield, he can get Morgana shielded, so he can't get interrupted by any CC. I mean, you pretty much have to kill the guy to interrupt his Nethergraph.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. I mean, they got a few options for it. They got the Zinzao ultimate that can interrupt it. They've got Glacial Fissure. You saw Frosty's insanely well played buffer is stun, even though he went down. But
yeah, I thought he canceled. I thought Jesus canceled it at first. Like, I thought he stepped forward, but yeah, you're right. It was the stun.
CB Rush here is posturing towards this dragon. It's going to be the first 5v5 we're going to see. I mean, both teams have got one of these. They're wanting to move further towards this soul. Attempted engage here from Frosty is going to get tagged up a little bit, but not going to find much damage. There's the spell shield from Jesus, so that's no longer going to be an option. Sirius getting tagged up. Array is all the way in. What are you doing? You're so far forward, but here's the rest of the team. Going to drop the ultimate to knock back the team, and Array's on the side, but he's finding kills despite that. Here comes the World Ender. Here comes the Caitlyn ultimate. It was an attempted engage from CB Rush, but they've turned this one around. Slim Kim and Array on the backside doing so much damage. They're going to continue to chase forward. Gonna find a disengage. They're gonna be okay, but this will be the dragon most likely going towards Bucky's Stratosphere. Frosty's in the wings, doesn't want to give it up without a fight. But look at this, he's walking in melee range. You're too close to Array. Almost finds the kill there, but he doesn't go down. And now Slim Kim's actually in trouble. They're turning this one around. A great peacemaker there from Macrobeast. Gonna pick up Frosty on the side. But now getting very low against this dragon. Could be the jump in from Coach Pizza and Evil Zara. Actually going to get reset here. They don't have vision on it, but they know it's not down. Looking to continue the fight. They're going to rotate around here. Array has in its smite range, but he doesn't have smite. It's going to go down. He's actually gets stolen. Evil Zara just walks up slowly and auto attacks. Array's going to punish them both, picking up 2 kills, but Acid has arrived. He picks up a shutdown onto Caitlyn. He can't chase the forward here with his E just yet. Waiting on the Audacious Charge cooldown. Array's under tower. Quickly regenerating with that red buff. They got to be careful about this one. But here comes the Volibear ultimate. Stops out the tower. 1,000 gold shutdown given over to Acid. As Slimkin drops the TP on in. Rutledge underneath the tower taking so much damage. The sun has worn off. Slimkin finds the kill. And it's just Acid in the jungle all alone being chased by Sermus here. Should be able to get away off the back of this wind area in the jungle. As the out of combat movements be just enough to let Acid escape.
All right, Soulpan, take a breath, take a breath. That was a lot of action going on. And yeah, she just walked up slowly and auto-attacked the dragon. Like, it wasn't even, I don't even know where the smite was. I don't think they expected her to try to steal it. I think they expected Tristana to try to jump onto one of the carries, either on the Trundle or the Caitlyn. I would say an overall decent trade for CB Rush. They get the dragon, but Frosty's caught again.
Oh, Nethergrass actually gets instantly interrupted again. Jesus gets knocked out of that one, and here comes the squad. Resets galore. It's a dead Aatrox here as he tries to fight back against 3. Just can't do it. Good awareness here, and over-aggression from the side of Bucky's Stratosphere.
Yeah, and they're going to look to try to take this Rift Herald at the 30-second mark. 30 seconds until the Baron comes up. Maybe they'll be able to pick this one up and possibly grab a tower into the mid lane. And yeah, Jesus and Slim Kim thought they had a pick, but they actually got baited in. A 2 for 0 for CB Rush. The gold is evening up as Evil Zara jumping in.
Throws the binding, and that's going to spot him out. Macrobeast is trying to get over here to help him out. Good flashing to keep him alive. Evil Zara is over the wall, still chasing for that kill. Macrobeast in trouble here as Rutledge just walks up to him. Going to find so much damage, drops him as Evil Zara's on the side, constantly popping off, looking like Danny out here as he dashes across the jungle, finding a few resets for himself, stays alive, and finds the fight here. Just super aggressive looks out of CB Rush. He's just, I mean, he saw the binding, he just went over the wall.
Yeah, he doesn't care. Evil Zara is a man with no fear right now. Hopping over, going for the kill, hopping over onto the Caitlyn, and then hopping away. I mean, this beautiful pick, this Tristana pick is really showing up, right? Has the Kraken Slayer, has the PD, has Jesus is dead.
You just got Syndred.
Yeah, that's an R. That's an R. That's a Zinzao damage. That's the, you know, Unleashed Power, I think is what it's called from Syndra. I could be wrong, but that ultimate just does so much damage, especially with the Electrocute. And he only has the Leandres right now. I can't imagine when she starts building, you know, the Seraph's Embrace, right? The Void Staff, the Rabadon's Death Cap, how much damage that's just going to inflict onto the enemy team. It's going to be, you know, just insane.
Yeah, I mean, Again, right here, it was a good look initially for Bucky's Stratosphere, but they're starting to fall apart a little bit. Maybe just getting a little bit too overzealous, going too far in the jungle to look for a pick with Jesus, getting picked off by that crowd, and maybe again even crediting over to the vision here. Once again, CB Rush just capitalizing on man advantages across the map. They just find everything they want, it seems, all the time. And with Baron being the next objective up here, I mean, I could see another team fight happening on this Dragon, but really at this point, both of these teams are evenly matched. It's really anyone's game, and it's all going to come down to vision and execution around these objective fights.
Yeah, Dragon's coming up at a minute and a half. It is Cloud Drake, so Cloud Soul's not that crazy impacted. I feel like Cloud Soul works better, much better for possibly CB Rush, just because they have
Acid.
the Zins out. Oh,
he's gonna get pulled back. Good knockup from Simcom. Good pillars.
People's always here though.
They're gonna get just kicked out. Double knockbacks. They go flying into the wall there. But that's two ultimates burned now. Evil Czar and Acid don't have theirs. It's gonna be a fight over the red buff once again. Poor Array the target of this one. Aatrox on the world, and they're dashing forward. Look at the damage. Evil Czar is now over the wall. He's happy to be over here. He's in safe range.
Is he gonna jump back in?
Gonna get stunned up here. He's the next target to drop. Nethergrass not available as it has just now joined the fight. Gonna try and find the snipe. Not gonna get Evil. Did burn the flash though. Evil Czar is flashless, but it's a 3 versus 5 in the jungle here. You don't really want this fight. You gotta be careful. They're gonna clear out the pink ward. Why are you continuing to fight this one? You are 2 men down. Frosty rejoins the fight. Macro Beast is the next target. Gonna find the damage. Double kill for Syndra dashing forward. CBR Acid is happy to go in melee range of Array. He's gonna maybe dash over this wall. Nope. Okay.
No, they want the Baron, I'm sure. Or they'll probably just pop the Rift Trail, actually probably take mid. I think Array is still alive, so they just CB Rush doesn't want to risk the flip on the Baron, as Array is just chomping at that. You gotta protect the Rift Trail, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, they're walking up to him now, looking for the fight. Gonna find the flash stun onto Array. He goes very low. Storm not gonna find it.
Acid should die here.
Array able to dash out.
Oh!
Acid gonna knock back Slim Kim, and now he's walking into 4. Maybe a little bit overzealous once again. You're just funneling in one by one. Slim Kim also gonna drop. Chasing just too far into the jungle for that kill.
Yeah, and it looked like Acid was gonna die multiple times. Able to get the Zinzao R off, able to just, you know, survive all that. As Frosty. He's just gonna...
Oh, spell shield plus exhaust. Gonna keep him alive. Macro Beast just walks into a stun once again here, as it's just good positioning for this team.
Array?
But finally, Array has arrived, and he's right in the middle of everyone. 2 kills go over, 2 shutdowns even. Coach Pizza now getting chased out here. Here comes the snipe. Gonna find a little bit of damage. Dark Harvest proc given over as well. Binding will not land as it's flashed by Coach Beats, but they're still continuing to chase.
Up, right?
Pillar is there. Finally going to find the slow. But go great Glacial Fissure from Coach Pizza. Will be the disengage. Might be enough to get him away here as Array continues to chase, but he finally gives it up. He's just going to steal with the cards.
Acid, leave. Acid, it's just Krugs, my man. It's 21, it's just Krugs, my man. You got to leave it. You can go farm the other top side of the jungle, but an overall win for CB Rush after that hectic and long fight. So bad. I feel like you've casted like 2 or 3 like really long fights, man. You need to breathe a little bit. I'll give you some rest, but whew, I mean, CB Rush just coming out on top. Popped the Rift Herald, was able to break the tier 2 mid, was able to just open up that map, and now they're going to be able to put more vision down for CB Rush. And you see, just look at the enemy side jungle. They have 2 wards into the top side. They have River warded pretty well. They have the defensive pink. And I feel like CB Rush, like you said, is just playing around vision better than Bucky Stratosphere.
Yeah, one big note there is that a lot of these kills are still going towards Array, and if he's constantly the target and initial engage, he's going to just go down so fast. I mean, he's just a Trundle in melee range. Yes, he's got Subjugate, but he's not pulling that many resistances from anyone. I mean, just now you got some armor coming out for the Volibear. You do have a little bit of armor here on the Zinzao. You don't really have a good option that you want to just drop the Subjugate on. It won't make you super tanky, but right here, they may find the fight they want, as it's a 3 versus 5. Coach Pizza gonna be the target. Binding will land. There's the Subjugate. Array goes big, and he's gonna find a kill here. 1 pick down, but is that enough to net them this Baron?
I mean, Frosty and Evil Czar is still up, and if Frosty hits like a multi-man stun, CBR Acid gets in. Rutledge is still up as well. They are flipping this Baron, though. Rutledge needs to TP now.
There's no trap set up here for Macro Beast either. Gonna find the pull here onto the Zinzao. Look at the Keston guard. Frosty has some backline. Blows up Macro Beast. Array's looking for vengeance. A serious skills. Gold on the other side. Almost finds the kill. One more auto does it. And now it's CB Acid in trouble. The junglers will get traded out here, and they're still looking for more. Nethergrass will keep the Bolivar at bay for a second here, as finally Slim Kim will find the damage. Tristana eventually chasing out Array there. Finally finds the kill. in the end, all in all, it's a 3-for-3 trade. No one gets the Baron. Or sorry, 3-for-2 traded. No one gets the Baron, as it's just a mess everywhere. I mean, 4 versus 4. 4 versus 5, 3 versus 2. There's just skirmishes all across this jungle. Let's Coach Pizza. No, let me give you a break, man. Walking forward just too far, and now Slim Kim gonna find the knockup. Wants to find the kill. Blasco. It's interrupted, but it's enough to get him away. Oh.
Ooh, Pizza face checking like there's nobody there. I mean, come on, the fight just happened. You have to believe somebody's around there. They're trying to fight for every inch of vision. Dragon is coming up in 2 minutes. I'm gonna look to probably see CB Rush maybe set up vision early, get the resets off, and look to just dominate that bot side river area. It is Cloud Soul for them, and I think it's going to work really well for them, right? They have the Syndra who can ult and run away. They have Zinzao who can ult and get out. Volley Bear would love a Cloud Soul, right? Him ulting in and just being able to chase anybody down. And Chisana's obviously going to love that move speed.
Yeah, I mean, we'll help her with kiting, we'll help Volley Bear with the engage. And of course, the last 2 Cloud Drakes, I mean, when you're playing on a team and you don't want to take that fight, you think to yourself, oh, you know what, guys, it's okay. It was just a Cloud Drake. But here at this point, it's a Cloud Soul. This is where it starts to matter quite a bit more. And of course, Elder coming up after that will most likely seal the deal on this game. I'm going to make a prediction here. This game goes to Elder. One of these teams this game will be taking the Elder Dragon. And that will close it out.
Oh, and Frosty's going to possibly play with his life here. He does not have flash up.
Array gonna get slowed. What is that flash flashing in place here? But that will be enough. Array will take the brunt of that Syndra ultimate, but he's happy to do it. Macro Beast picks it up with the snipe. Another a man down for this Dragon Soul.
Yeah, 40 seconds on the Syndra, so she will be up before the Dragon comes up. 10 seconds, has the TP up as well, so unfortunately, an unfortunate death as Array, Sermus, and Macro Beast are going for the
death push. They have the vision here too. More. Coach Pizza, you walk too far forward. It's going to be Array whacking on you. But look at him drop. The rest of the team has arrived. They'll pick up the support in return, but you don't want to lose your jungler. Not when the Soul's about to spawn. Teleport coming in here from Slim Kim. He's got to turn this fight around for his team. CBR Acid still alive. Will be the initial engage. Actually getting another grasp, but no one is here to follow that one up. Gets silenced, gets snared, but he's able to walk away. Grassing Guard keep him alive. He gets pulled back in. Now the knockup coming through. Evil Zara also on the back line. Look at Slim Kim come forward. The massive damage, but he drops as well. There's just too much damage from this back line. Evil Zara finally finds the way out of the fight. Jesus putting the legs on to dodge the stun, but oh my god, Frosty didn't. Here comes the snipe. Look at the damage. They drop him as well. Dragon available, and they're gonna pick this one up 4-for-2. And honestly, Bucky Stratosphere had no rights winning that one. I'm just surprised. I'm caught off guard.
They took down Coach Pizza, right? They took down, I believe, they took down Frosty early, so it was just Evil Zara with the damage, and as much as she's allowed to free hit, once Slim Kim got that flash Q on, I mean, we saw it so many times, it does so much damage onto that sweet spot. I believe Evil Zara lost half of his health off of just one Aatrox Q sweet spot, so the key for CB Rush is just to keep Frosty and Evil Zara alive, right? They don't really have much damage after that. Rutledge went the tank build pretty much. CBR Acid is effectively a tank at this late in the game, right? He's not going to be insanely bursting anybody out. Even if he gets onto Macro Beast, she has the exhaust up as well. So on the side of Bucky's, though, they have the Aatrox, they have the Fed Trundle, they have the Malzahar, they have the Caitlyn, they have essentially three and a half, almost 4 carries. And even if you just take one of them out, there's another one waiting in the wings, and they're just playing around this Morgana binding so well. That was the first Malzahar ult I saw that was kind of like a head scratcher, but I mean, that's the only one, right? Jesus has been on point with all of his Malzahar ultimates. Just a bit of a miscommunication, I suppose, on their end. Yeah,
maybe just underestimating how quickly his team could get to him. Did end up winning the fight in the end, so it all works out, but you gotta be careful with those. I mean, that's a key cooldown for this team. You want to make sure you're using that effectively. Rutledge gonna get pillared here, gonna go unstoppable to get away, gonna be forced to flash. But look at this,
yeah, that's Baron immediately
started. Evil Zara has got the ADC build. He's not going lethality, and they're chunking through this one quick. Already down to half, already down to a quarter.
Just burn it.
In here, they might have the time to be able to just burst this one down. There's no jungler to get in the pit. They'll smite it away. Blue team picks up the Baron without a soul dropping, and now the teleport comes in. In the back line, there goes Xin Zhao. As Slim Jim just gets dropped, Xin Zhao did get another grass up, but he's managing to stay alive. Array is 1 versus 4 in the back line. This team fight is too dang scattered. All of a sudden, CB Rush flips the game on its head. Macro Beast and Jesus trying to stay alive, but it's a Baron up squad, and they're hungry for blood. Jesus will be last to go, and all of a sudden, CB Rush are suddenly looking like they're gonna take this one.
Yeah, and on the drop of a dime, that Baron call was so quick. The moment they saw Trundle in that bot lane, they immediately turned on it. They were able to burst the Baron out. They had the Tristana, the Xin Zhao, and the Syndra. They were able to just take that Baron immediately. They took it, TP'd in with Rutledge, and Array was trying to 1v4. He almost had it. He was so close. But he was able to get turned on the Braum. Evil Zara getting executed by the tower.
He's in for the T.
Oh, will they be able to stop here? Hit the Nexus.
Oh, great stun. No, there's just no way back into this one. Even with Sir moves on the slight blunder, Frosty's on the back line doing the damage. The rest of the team will follow it up. Nexus will fall, and CB Rush will take the 3-0 sweep in week 1.
A heart-pounding game 3, if anything. That was really, really close. If you didn't see the last 2 games, you would think that these 2 teams are evenly matched, right? I mean, just the way that Stratosphere was able to adapt and get better and better, right? From game 1 to game 2 to game 3, they finally found their stride, but were unable to pick up the win as CB Rush, former champions, or the last season's champions, was able to get the win, get the clean 3-0, clean up until the last game.
Yeah, I mean, just starting your expectations this early, setting yourself up as still the champion. You had these roster swaps. Your bottom lane's looking great. I mean, just absolute pop off from the Tristana in that last game. Evil Zara living up to expectations here, and Coach Pizza not looking like a slouch either in that bottom lane. These guys look really good, and I'm curious to see who will be the team that manages to take them down. We'll have to find out next week.
Yeah, and obviously no disrespect to Bucky Stratosphere, right? I mean, they were able to, obviously, they were able to keep the last game super, super close. It felt like every play that was getting, matched from CB Rush, it felt like Bucky was just pretty much one step ahead up until the end game, right? That's where you separate the good teams from the great teams, in my opinion, right? It's that late game macro. It's that, not getting caught out, in that 25 to 30 minute mark, that decisiveness to take the Baron once Trundle was in the bottom lane, right? Unable to get the kill. Rutledge was able to stall it out. And, that's what separates the number 1 team from the number 5 team, the number 6 team, right? Mm-hmm. That's the CB Rush that I was expecting, right? The champions of last season. Bucky Stratosphere put a really good game 2 and game 3 on. I think game 3 was amazing play from them. I think they can make it far. They obviously, they in my opinion, have the chance to take it all. Of course, I know it's week 1, guys. It's bold predictions and everything, but just being able to take it that far and the adaptations that you're able to see going forward. I mean, I feel like this team's like a diesel engine, right? They just need time to warm up. They just need time to, get going. And once they get going, it feels like they are one of the most cohesive teams.
I mean, keep in mind, they also had a substitute of their own this week. So looking to see Bucky Stratosphere at full strength in the near future as well. But we're going to cut to a short break here as we pull up an interview to talk about that last game. We'll see you guys in just a little bit on the interview desk.